Old school mentality, breaking in a glove. I get back there and just start catching. A lot of guys, you know, they rub oil on it, they do all this stuff. All-Stars mitts are probably the best in the aspect of breaking in the fastest. I actually got this glove about 5 days ago, and it's game ready just by catching balls and just working with it. I mean, it's unbelievable how fast these gloves break in. I mean, it really is. You know, you pick up another glove, it usually takes a couple weeks. You got to oil it, got to do all this stuff. These babies you just throw on and start catching, and works right in.
I catch baseballs. You know, I think that's the best way to break it in. Some people, you know, put shaving cream on it and, you know, do all the dandy work to try to create the perfect pocket. But I don't think any way better to do it than actually catching the baseball. You know, that'll create itself.
The first thing I do is I switch out the laces right here, the webbing, and I make it the single vertical line laces. For me, it holds up tighter and it's stronger. It gives it more rigidity, which I like it to be a little firm. Doesn't get real loose, and you can still keep it, and you can always tighten it up with these. And you know, I'd use that some leather conditioner and stuff, but that's pretty much it. You know, it's at the end of the year, this thing's gonna be so disgusting and nasty that, you know, it's gonna be time to move on to another one.
The sooner you guys send it to me, put it in my hand, make sure it fits my hand, and I start catching. I mean, I don't do anything to it. I let it just break in the way the pitchers throw. You know, the harder they throw, the quickest it's gonna break in. So pretty much for me, just put it in and just catch.
I try to catch as much guys as possible, you know, and I'll put a little flex all here and there. But I mean, when you have good leather, you know, and a glove that's durable, it's hard to say it's not good, you know. And it's top of the line. It's top of the line. There's no faking it, you know. And that's what this glove is. This is one of the in baseball.
Gloves are amazing. I mean, I can't ever see myself using any other type of glove. This glove is just awesome. I mean, breaks in super fast, and it's just comfortable for one thing, and it just the sound it makes whenever you catch the ball is just incredible.
I'm just a big play catch with it. I like to either sit in front of a pitching machine, or I just like to catch bullpens. I feel like that's the best way to kind of get it. I'm not a big rubber band or wrap it or bake it, or there's all sorts of things. I just like to play catch, and I catch it where I want it and kind of form the pocket, and while I'm catching it, I'm really shaping it and kind of bending it and making sure it's kind of working the way I like it, tightening the strings. And it takes a little bit more time, but by the time I get them the way I like them, that's how I like it.
I used to throw a ball in it and then literally put it underneath my bed, but honest to God, your guys' gloves are so good that you play catch with them twice, and like I got brand new one in there, and I've caught like 2 bullpens with it, and I would feel completely comfortable going in the game with it right now. I mean, only your gloves are the only ones that I've ever had that with, because, you know, I used to use gloves, and it literally would take 3/4 of a year to break a glove in. I mean, now I'm playing catch with it every day, and they were like as hard as a rock, you know. But your guys are hard, but then they just kind of melt, but they stay firm, you know. I mean, it's not like you would think like, oh, they're probably mushy. No, they're like, these things are in great condition, and they just seem to just break in so easy. It literally is like the coolest thing about it. I mean, they're so good.
There's a lot of guys out there that will say, don't listen to Nevin Ashley about breaking in gloves, but they don't know anything. But I mean, as far as all-star gloves, like, once I get a glove in, I'll start playing catch with it, make sure I don't squeeze the glove when I, just let the ball close it, and I'll catch, as many pins as I can, and, just by the way, I'm catching, and, let the ball form itself.
I just grab it and put it straight to my hands, catch some bullpens. Everybody gonna do the gloves different, So, that's depending how big is your hand, how small is your hand is. I think, you have to find a way, you got a comfortable way to, can you catch every pitch, can you make a good transfer, but that's gonna show up, before you get to the game time, especially in bullpens, duels, whatever the case may be.
I've never been a guy really that uses different tools or whatever to break in my gloves. I play catch with them, and I believe that however you're going to catch with it is the way. When you throw with it, you need to break it in that way. And if you bang on your glove with a tool or something and wrap it up, you can wrap it up differently. And then once it's broken in, you're like, oh man, this isn't how I catch with it. So I've always been a guy that really just throws with my gloves. I don't really wrap them up. I don't really I don't really beat them with a tamp or a tool or anything like that.
I usually tape up a baseball to make it a little bit bigger, and I shove it right in the pocket to where usually I want to catch the ball. And I wrap a rope or a cord or whatever, something sturdy, around the glove and kind of form it around the pocket, so it kind of forms the pocket even more. You know, I didn't do that this year because I wanted to break it in using the pitchers. So obviously being here, you know, and I think the way people bend it and put their hand in it, everybody's different. You know, it's crazy. Like, you don't find the same glove with, you know, everybody's glove is different no matter what you say. But I have my own unique way. You know, I bend it up here, whatever, and mainly my gloves just been broken in because we have just these flamethrowers, you know.
Like the glove I just got now, it's been a week, not even a week actually, for spring training. And you give me another 5 days and it's ready to go. Absolutely.
Perfect. And you use the smaller one too. I mean, any reason?
Yeah, I use the XSBT, you know, the 32-inch. It's just something I always like the small glove. I'm a smaller guy, and I like to get lazy with my hands, so I make sure I have to get my hands to the ball, and then, you know, throwing guys out, catching and throwing, it's easy to get the ball out. There's no fumbling around and stuff like that. It's just personal preference, you know.
I go through 2 a year, and that's 162 games, what, plus 30 during spring. That's, what, 200 and something games, plus 8 billion bullpens, so 2 gloves for a year. You know, I've actually pushed 2 gloves into winter ball, through big league spring, so I mean the gloves last. They have a lot of durability. You may have to restring them here and there, but if you don't have a glove that you haven't restrung, I don't know who you are, what kind of glove you're using. It must be from the future, but these things last a long time.
You know, this thing's game ready now, and I've been catching it with it for 2 weeks. Just bullpens and stuff like that, you know.
How long will, you know, or how many gloves a year do you go through?
One glove a year. Yep, 1 glove a year.
For all the bullpens and
everything.
All the games?
1 glove, yeah, and it works out for 1 glove a year perfectly. And by the end of the year, it gets pretty loose and pretty floppy, and by that time, the season's almost over.
It probably takes me 2 weeks. 2 weeks, because I like mine kind of stiff a little bit, and once they get to the point where they're kind of floppy or whatever, and they're really too broken in, then I start to move to a newer glove, just because I feel like with my exchange and stuff like that, it kind of toys with it a little bit if it's real floppy. But
then how long do they last? I mean, how many gloves do you go through a year?
I probably go through 2 at the most. I'll go through, just because, like I said, I like them relatively stiff. So once I'll go through the first one. The first one will probably last me at least the first half of the season, and then the second one will last me through the second half, and then I'll probably use that second glove in spring training the next year while I'm breaking in the other 2.
This was one of the fastest ones that's broken in for me, and it's staying stiff, which I love. I got this 5 days ago. I played catch with it twice, caught a series of bullpens, and I think I could use it in the game probably. If we had a game tomorrow, I would use it in the game.
For me, you know, like here, like we call a lot of bullpens early in spring, probably take me like 2 weeks, the most. Talking about, you know, catching bullpen, all that stuff. But if I want to break it faster, I put a machine over there, turning probably 92, 93. I'm gonna start breaking it in, like, you know, catching some pitches, and that probably take me probably like 4 days, 5 days.
Awesome. And how long will it last?
Last me, like, as soon as I break, I catch it, I use it for the whole season. So, you know, I break the other one for the backup, but the one I break, the first one, that's what I use pretty much for the rest of the season. Even if you break or something, I try to repair, but I never change like during the season. I just keep it up.
Your gloves is probably the quickest gloves, as far as top of the line gloves, because they break in awesome and they stay the same way you want them. Like I've had the glove I have now has been since last year, maybe June, that it broke in, and it's still the same. You know, the leather is still compact as it is when I first got it. Yeah,
that's it. That's all I got. Unless you got anything else that you want to
see,
talk about.
this is one from last year. It's still.
Oh, that doesn't look nearly as nasty as the one you showed us.
No, I haven't been putting as much stuff in it.
Yeah.
There's no like sunflower seeds.
No, nothing.
There's a glue on the back or anything.
Just maybe some sticking here.
Yeah, yeah.
But I do got one in there. It's a little messed up.